Welcome to Broken Entertainment. So, today we're going to talk about Indiana Jones 5. And there's a couple different things going on here where you have some people getting upset at each other on Twitter over the usual crap. And you have some people who are kind of looking at the pictures coming out of this movie and going, this doesn't look good. And for me, it's not just the looks, it's not just what's going on Twitter, but it also kind of comes down to the point where you cross the line between making entertainment and milking the crap out of something. And there's too much of that second thing going on in our entertainment right now, right? You've got it all over the place. You've got 1.5 million Terminator movies. You've got all of the Star Wars sequel movies that have come out. You've got the spin-off movies for stuff. You've got TV shows with spin-offs of TV shows that spin off TV shows. And you kind of just... I'm not saying you can't have a sequel or a spin-off, but there does reach a point where the story's been told, okay? The story of Indiana Jones was a good story. And it ended with Indiana Jones 3. It was wrapped up. All the character development and the plots and so on all tied together, and it was very well done, and everybody enjoyed it, and it was time to move on. And there's nothing wrong with that. But we've forgotten how to end things. Now we just keep going. I mean, what Jurassic Park are we on now? 6, I think, is coming out. It reaches a point with our modern entertainment that it's just too much. It's taken too far to the point where it has no real value anymore. And it's something you can kind of get away with in books, right? You can write a long book series. You can have the Wheel of Time, which is like 12 plus books long or something. And it works out because it's long format, it's written, but there are other things. And even with like Star Wars, you can tell a lot of stories in the Star Wars universe. But this is Indiana Jones. It's a smaller focused story. And it ended. And we just keep going. You know, the same happened, I think, with Terminator. You had the original 3 movies, and then they started to tell a story that would have culminated with them going back in time to the first movie. And that would have been a neatly wrapped story. Instead, we just keep getting this convoluted crap that comes out, and it reboots everything and rewrites everything, and nothing has any meaning anymore because we're just, let's go make some more money. You know, instead of, hey, let's do the artistically right thing and tie the story up, wrap it, boom, let it go. Marvel, you know, it took them, 26 movies or something, but Marvel did that now. They're going to go past that point. But they've told a great story, and they ended it. And they're going to keep going. Now, again, it's kind of like Star Wars. There's a lot more stories you can tell. But with a movie like Indiana Jones, it's done. The story is over. What's there left to tell? And if you were going to continue it, you would want to continue it with a different character, in my mind. Or continue it in book form, where Harrison Ford could be young forever. But this isn't a book. So I'm going to get into a couple things here. This is a picture from the set of the movie. This is Indiana Jones. This is Harrison Ford. He's 78 years old, and he looks 78 years old, if not older. And, you know, nothing against Harrison Ford. He's older man now, and that's okay. That's, you know, good for him. But this is Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones is an action hero. How do you sell this? Even the last movie, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, was a bit of a stretch, but at least that was heading towards an ending where he was going to pass the mantle, so to speak, to his son. And it would have been, future movies would have been different. But now he's 78 years old, man. I don't want to watch a movie of a 78-year-old Indiana Jones. And there's some theories going around that, okay, they're going to use some CGI effects to make him look younger. Well, to me, I know what he looks like. And that's the kind of thing that just pulls you out of the movie after a certain point. But let's go ahead. This is from Cosmic Book News. Indiana Jones 5 director James Mangold responds to backlash. This is from, I believe this is from The Crystal Skull. This picture right here. Anyway, a tweet that has gone viral from Twitter user Matthew Kaddish offers the following. To anyone thinking Indiana Jones 5 might be good, let me point out Steven Spielberg is not directing. Kathleen Kennedy is producing. Harrison Ford is 78 years old. It's written by Jonathan Kasdan, who wrote Solo. Tweet has been retweeted about almost 100 times and liked by 500 fans, which is something James Mangold caught wind of and replied back, obviously irked by the comment. Keep making the world a better place by crapping on things in the first week of production from your basement. Never seen a script by John, nothing against him, just reality. Buttersworth and I started from a blank page. 1 to 3 are hugely talented and all at my side. This is, I talk about professionalism a lot, and I'm going to bring it up again. You are the director of Indiana Jones 5. This Matthew Kaddish, I don't know who he is, I don't care. You're talking about a tweet that has been retweeted 100 times. And you're going off on him. You're the professional. You have to step back. You have to let criticism be criticism. It's just like when you're an author, you do not go and respond to a fan's criticism or review. You don't do it because the only thing you can do is look bad. Let this guy hang or not, doesn't matter. As soon as you respond, all you can do is look bad and drive people away. And this goes on and on. I'm not going to read all this, but they go back and forth. Okay? And, apparently this has been going on all day or multiple times, multiple days. The point is, you can't. And we see this how many times? We see it in comics. We see it in movies. You have these professional people responding to criticism with attacks and ridiculous behavior. And it's just another thing. It's just another wedge that we're driving into our entertainment and we're driving into our society. When you have a society that has been driven apart by so many things over and over again, maybe when somebody says something negative, maybe you should just let it go. Our entertainment has a great opportunity and ability to pull us all together. But they're not doing that. They're driving wedges into society. They're picking at people. They're picking things apart, both in their scripts and in what they're writing and in their behavior online. And I'm not just talking about one side here. I'm talking about all of them. When I see on social media some of this behavior, I have to go and remind myself that there's people like Jason David Frank out there. Jason David Frank has done nothing negative in the Power Rangers fandom, and just constantly he spent months going from comic book shop to comic book shop to comic book shop when those people were suffering the most, saying, "Here I am, let's do an event. I'll sign things, I'll hand stuff out, I'll talk to people, and you can keep the majority of the proceeds." That's the kind of behavior I want to see from the entertainment industry. I want to see people talking and communicating and behaving well with one another. And when somebody comes at them with criticism, I want to see them say nothing. Because all they can do is damage. You will not convince the person that criticized you, and you will not convince the people that listen to them, but you might say something that makes you look bad. Like, for example, keep making the world a better place, crapping on things the first week of production from your basement. All that statement can do is make fans or potential fans angry and walk away. And I'm sorry, whatever the reality is of this movie, and we don't know enough to really attack it. We don't know enough to say it's going to be a bad movie, but I do know enough to say this. We've had enough Indiana Jones movies. We've had 3 amazing Indiana Jones movies, and the story was wrapped. This movie is unnecessary. This movie is just another attempt by Disney to get some more money. It's just a cash grab. And it's a cash grab taking advantage of fans and a 78-year-old man, quite frankly. I mean, look at these pictures. Does this look, outside of the costume, does this look like Indiana Jones to you? Does this look believable to you? Because it doesn't to me. A 78-year-old Indiana Jones, if he has to go out into the field, probably not going to be swinging from a whip. He's probably going to be advising somebody else. And he could play the mentor role, but not like this. Not wearing the whip, not acting like he's not 78 years old. Because even if, and you can see kind of on his face, not very well from this picture, but they've got CGI dots on his face and on some of his clothing, with the idea being that supposedly they're going to de-age him. Well, I know what he looks like. So all you're going to do is make me think of the CGI that you're using instead of immersing me in the movie. And to me, this movie is dramatically unnecessary and is just an example of our modern entertainment producers just trying to grab some more money. And I don't hold anything against those who make entertainment of any sort trying to make money. Please, go out and make money. But doing it like this just feels like a step too far. Like, you're just abusing the franchise at this point because there's no story left to tell. You should have gone out and made something new. Leave Indiana Jones, the franchise, alone. Go tell better Star Wars stories. Go make something brand new. Go tell better Marvel stories. Whatever. Go to a franchise that still has life in it. But this franchise is done. It wrapped. It was over. And now we have an Indiana Jones that is legitimately being criticized for having an actor who is 78 years old in the main role and looks every bit of it. You know, you can have all the stuntmen you want. It just, after a certain point, it just doesn't work. They should have what they should have done, and maybe we'll find out is what they did, but it doesn't sound like it to this point. What they should have done is pivoted him to an old man Bruce Wayne kind of role, where he is the mentor, He's not able to do it again. He wants to do it again, but he can't. Something bad's going on, and he has a student who he thinks can get the job done. That would have been the direction to take it if you're going to try to take it somewhere. But I don't even agree with going that far, to be honest. So let me know what you think in the comments. Are you excited about this movie? Do you think this looks silly? Do you think this is just another cash grab? Let me know in the comments. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Hit the bell for notifications, and I will see you next time.